This is the first lesson that we did in this class, so if you were absent, you'll need to make up this lesson by watching this video. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to write the date here. The date of the lesson was 8/25/25, and that date always goes up in the top left corner. And then the title of this lesson is, we're going to skip the first line, and then we're going to write double space for our lesson. The lesson title is Systems of Measurement. And then we're going to put a line underneath there with our straight edge. So this says, this is the title of today's lesson. It's in bigger letters, and we have it clearly defined with capital letters and a line underneath it. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to set up a table. So I'm going to line my ruler with this red edge. I'm going to draw a line straight down, all the way to the bottom of the page. Notice how I skipped a space in between there, though, to show the difference. The next space I do is going to be a double space. So see how I did that? I just did one ruler space and then flipped to get a double space. So these are your two vertical lines. Now we're going to put in a horizontal line. We're going to count 1, 2, 3 down. And then we're going to draw our line over, starting from the margin all the way across the page. There are 3 different ways we call the system that we use. We can call it the imperial system, the U.S. customary, or you can call it the SAE system. On the other side of that, we have the metric system, which is most commonly used throughout the world, but here in the United States, we're holding on to these systems, which is all the same. This is just 3 different ways of saying the same system. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is we're going to need 4 empty spaces. So go ahead and give yourself a line over. We're going to talk about Length. We're going to talk about length. And when we're talking about the imperial system, our smallest unit is the inch. And then we have the foot, followed by the yard, followed by the mile. Those are the ways that we define the length of something with our imperial system. For the metric system, we have millimeters, centimeters, millimeters, centimeters, meters, and kilometers. Those are our 4 different systems that we have. So we also have other things besides length that we can measure. We can also measure mass. And another way of saying mass is the weight. We like to use the word mass, though, because that's how science speaks. So with mass, we have 3 different units that we'll use. So I'll give myself 3 spaces. The smallest unit of mass is the ounce. And this is for our imperial system. We also have the pound. And we also have the ton, which is 2,000 pounds. For the metric system, we have milligrams, grams, and kilograms. And so we have length, we have mass, and the last thing we have is volume. All right. We have quite a few for volume, but we're just going to give ourselves 4 spaces. We have the smallest unit of measurement is a cup. And our next is a pint. We have a quart. And we have the gallon. So ranging from smallest to biggest. For the metric system, it's a little bit more simple. They have a milliliter, that's ER, the milliliter and the liter. So a milliliter is a small measurement and the liter is their bigger measurement. Which is interesting because gallons, we measure milk in gallons and we measure in soda in liters. So it is a little bit interesting that that's so different. Now for our final space here, give yourself 4 spaces, draw your line across. Used by who? So there's only 3 countries in the entire world that still use this system. The USA, or United States of America, Myanmar, M-Y-A-N-M, Myanmar, which is a country in Southeast Asia, and Liberia. So those are the 3 countries that still use this system. I don't know why these 2 small countries have hung on to it. Maybe they just want to be in sync with us. But for the metric system is all other countries. Yes. Okay, so this is the lesson called Systems of Measurement. If you were absent this day, you'll need to get this in your notes.